34 years old, Lou and I, and are rapt to be back here on our home farm, bringing up our two children, George and Lucy. Our farm ownership definitely hasn't come about easily. We've had to work pretty hard for it. We were brought up to not expect to be taking over the farm, so it's just great to be here.
Yummy.
The two key factors that have prepared us for farm ownership are working with the right people to get that farm management experience and taking those opportunities to build equity to get into a farm.
9 years ago, the block next to us came up for lease, and I'm in a farm discussion group with a guy called Derek Neal, a lot of respect for him, from Wairarapa, and he said, look, I've got this young fella that's ready for management if anyone's got a job. So that's how I first met Daniel. Well, Daniel had worked for Derek Neal, who's a really good farmer and a good teacher and a good judge of people. Daniel Bennett to Lincoln, and he was a good farming man. So I thought, well, there's two and two together. Got the lease block, got the man, let's have a go. Well, we need to have some form of professional business relationship, and we decided an equity partnership was the best way to do that.
So the first lease we took on was a 3-year term. It was about 4,200 stock units, 400 odd hectares. When I met Sam, I had $13,000 saved up, and that was just from shepherding for a couple of years. And so, ended up borrowing another 87,000. So we came up with 100,000, which was a third of the whole partnership.
It was a pretty tough year, the first one. We were into good classic Central Hawke's Bay drought quite early.
Taking on the lease role, it was definitely a step up from shepherding. Having Sam was really good. He was obviously right next door, so just any time on the phone for any sort of management side of things. Also, he for the first 3 to 4 months, he did all the books, and then slowly handed that all over to me. He taught me how to use Cash Manager and did a little bit of work on Farmax.
Daniel's performance in the first lease was nothing short of outstanding, and I mean that. He's just a natural stockman, natural hard worker, measured, good decision maker. When stuff happens, as it does on farms, he recovers and gets on with it. The lease was only a 3-year lease. We made good cash profits in an operating sense, but as well as that, we were fortunate that we had bought in at a low price and we exited at a higher price. So we got a double whammy.
After the end of the first lease, Sam and I continued our partnership on our new lease, which was just north of Dannyburg, 400 hectares sheep and beef property. It was 4,000 stock units. I went from a third partner to a 50-50 partner by buying some of Sam's shares.
The second lease was 5 years, was a longer lease. Like a lot of farm businesses, it had a really crook year to start with. But overall, it was a very successful lease because it's a beautiful farm, well farmed, good rainfall, and a period of some good prices.
By the end of the second lease, Sam and I wound up the company, and we had enough equity to buy my parents a house for retirement, which enabled us to take ownership of the family farm.
We went into this first and foremost as a business, and we both made money, so that's got to be good. Secondly, I think it's great to take the opportunity to give young people a start in their farming career, and it achieved that as well. So it was a win-win as far as we're concerned. If you want to get into farm ownership, the first thing is you can't be afraid of hard work. Farming is hard, and what's more, it's not predictable. There's always challenges, there's stuff that goes wrong, and you've got to be able to recover from those setbacks. So it's the first thing. Secondly, you must be well trained. You must at least understand stockmanship, preferably some form of tertiary education is useful. Thirdly, really, to get into farming by some form of share farming or something, you've got to network, and you've got to let people know that you want to be farming. You've got to tap all the opportunities you get, all the channels, the contacts. And finally, just recognise that opportunities don't always come wrapped up in yellow ribbons. We're really lucky to meet with Daniel and get the business going. And I think the message is that you've got to get that first break and just grab it with both hands.
Meeting and working with Sam has been a huge step to getting where we are today. So we had spent 8 years leasing together. And just his experience of farming and the opportunity he gave me in leasing and growing my equity and learning off him has been a big part of getting us here where we are today.